Hey, you guys, this is Jody Watkins, and I am here with another video to help you with your mindset. Today, we are going to be talking about limiting beliefs. This is something that I struggle with, and many, if not all, of the clients that I've ever worked with have also struggled with. All right. So, as you know, I am Jody Watkins. We are talking about limiting beliefs today. We're going to talk about what they are, how they form, and how they can hold us back. As you know, most of everything that I talk about revolves around self awareness. The more self aware we become, the better we can become. So we have to be willing to turn the mirror around. Because if we're not doing that and we're not willing to do that, it's going to be very difficult to change the programming that we have in us right now. So where do we just start? Where do we start? Well, limiting beliefs. Let's talk about that. What are limiting beliefs? Well, according to the research, limiting beliefs are the negative thoughts and assumptions we hold about ourselves and our abilities. They can be phrases like, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve success. I can't change. Now, for anybody that is walking out their faith journey with the Lord, we know these are lies that the enemy tells us. But what I always say is the enemy is right here. The enemy is in our heads. So let's talk about how limiting beliefs form. Well, a lot of them are genetically given to us. I'm learning right now that a lot of the things that I'm dealing with in my life were given to me as I was forming. They're in my genetics, they're in my DNA. My mom and my dad were going through things. They didn't believe in themselves. So guess what? It got passed down to me. Now, I can't change my genetic makeup, but I can change slowly but surely the way I achieve everything from this point on. So they can also form from past experiences, comments from others. What do other people tell us when we're growing up? Societal expectations. They usually start in our childhood. That's when we're most impressionable. So I always tell people, think about your inner child. And that's what I have to do too. My inner 7-year old. What does she look like? What is she going through? Some of the things that I was going through, I had an alcoholic mother and she married someone who beat her up pretty much all the time. And at 7 years old, I lost a sister. I learned a lot at 7. So if you think about your childhood, and I know a lot of people don't want to, and I didn't either, but if you think about it, a lot of these things play a big part in how we are today. So, how do our limiting beliefs hold us back? They can prevent us from pursuing our dreams. We don't even try new things. We don't believe in our own potential. I usually see potential in others before they see it. But you know why? Because I've had people in my life who saw it in me before I saw it. So now I'm able to pay that forward. But if we aren't open to trying, it doesn't matter what others see in us because we're not going to be able to achieve it. We're not even going to try. So here's some tips for overcoming. To overcome the beliefs, we have to start by, what did I say earlier? Becoming self aware. We have to identify them. Then we have to write them down and challenge their validity. In my book, Reclaim Your Life, I actually have a page where I have you do this. You write down a belief that you have about yourself, and then you write down the opposite. Okay? That is something that we have to do. I want you to replace them with positive affirmations. And the biggest thing, surround yourself with supportive people. Look at your circle. What do they consist of? Are they constantly pointing out the things that you do wrong? Or Do they give you constructive criticism, but pick you up consistently, support you, ask you what you need? How is your circle responding to you? Are they toxic or are they helpful? That's a big one. I began my journey by writing every negative thought I had about myself, and then I had to work hard. And I don't want to say had actually, because it's not past tense, it's a continuous process. I have to, it's present tense. I have to actively work to reframe them into positive statements. And the enemy still tries to use them. The enemy in my head still allows them to be used sometimes, but I've gotten a lot better. This is the transformation that people can't see on the outside. We get so focused on what we look like physically that we forget about how we're changing and growing mentally. So we have to start looking at that part. So reframe them, start reframing them into positive statements and believe them. I always tell people, borrow my belief system in you if you need it for right now. Because you have to believe in yourself. Therapy helped me shift my mindset. Practicing these things helped me shift my mindset. And this is how we break free from those shackles, those constraints that we have. We will limit ourselves. No one else has to do that for us. So I want you to think about a couple of examples here, okay? These are examples that I hear a lot. The first one, I'll never be fit. Well, you've already told yourself that. So guess what? Chances are that's your truth. This belief can prevent you from starting a fitness journey. If you already believe you'll never be fit, you'll probably avoid exercising regularly or eating healthy because you just feel like it's pointless. Or you're trying the things and it's not working fast enough, so you just give up. Or you go spend money on all the get skinny quick diets out there that aren't lasting you. Because as soon as you quit them, you gain the weight right back. Because guess what? You haven't built the belief system. You haven't built the habits and you haven't reprogrammed your mind. So anybody can follow a program temporarily, but you're not building the habits that you need. You're not building the discipline. So it's not going to last. And then you give up because you never believed you could do it anyway. So imagine somebody that's always struggled with weight, and maybe this is you. They might have tried and failed several diets and exercise plans in the past, leading to them to believe that being fit is just impossible for them. The belief stops them from committing to a new plan that could work for them if they just gave it a chance. When I have a consultation with someone, I ask them, what have you tried already? Because I need to know. Most of the time, they haven't tried what I'm going to ask them to do. We have to keep trying. We can't give up. And one of the things that I always say is it's not failure until we quit. We haven't failed unless we quit. Here's one for a business goal. And this is something that I've had to work through personally. And now I hear it because I'm aware of my own downfalls and weaknesses, right? I'm not smart enough to run a business. Have you ever told yourself that? I don't have it all. I don't know what all I need, right? None of us start out knowing everything or having all the tools. The only reason I'm farther ahead now is because I started 7 years ago. I started my business 7 years ago and I've failed forward fast. But I've learned a lot of things along the way. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. You just have to be willing to start. If you already tell yourself you're not smart enough, guess what? you're not even going to start the business. You're not going to pursue a promotion because you already doubt your intelligence and your capabilities. You're just going to settle and you're probably going to be miserable. So think about someone you know, and maybe this is even you. You have a great business idea, but you feel inadequate, imposter syndrome. I have a blog on that on my website if you want to go check it out. Because maybe you think you need a business degree. I'm going to tell you something. I have a bachelor's and a master's in business. It didn't teach me how to run a business, especially one that revolves around technology and revolves around coaching and communicating. That took experience. And technology changes. So what I used 7 years ago doesn't even play a part anymore. You don't need a business degree to start a business. Despite having the skills and the passion, either the person that you're thinking of or you may never take the first step to even start your business. You miss out on the opportunity to succeed and grow. And what do you end up doing? You're probably helping somebody else build their dream. Here's a third example. And this one revolves around a health goal. I hear this one all the time, especially people that are my age. I'm in my mid 40s. I just turned 46. It is harder when you get older, but it's still not impossible. And I'm proving that. So here's the third one. I can't change my habits. You ever heard anybody say this? Now, when I hear someone say that, I say, why not? Because I'm curious, right? I already know it's a limiting belief, but I say, why not? Because I want to hear what their thoughts are. And I listen. I just listen to them. When you're already saying, I can't change my habits, if you're already thinking that, you're not going to be able to put more effort into adopting healthier habits. If you already think you can't change, you're not going to try new strategies. You're not going to try coaching with me. You're not going to try anything. And you're not going to stick with it long enough to actually see the results. I used to get so frustrated when people would just quit before they could even get there. Everybody's different. You guys, I've been on my journey for years, and had surgeries and setbacks. But you know what? I stayed consistent. I'm still using the same tools. I changed the numbers for tracking my food depending on my goal, but I still use the same tools. You got to stick with it long enough. You're not seeing the results because you quit too soon. And that goes with anything. So maybe this is you, or think of someone you know. They've always had poor eating habits and they believe they're incapable of changing. That belief keeps them from seeking nutritional advice or trying to incorporate small, manageable changes into their diet. It ultimately is preventing them from improving their health. They've already told themselves they can't change. But again, that is a lie that we tell ourselves. We can change. Until we take our last breath, we can change. There's no age limit on this. It's not, oh, if you haven't changed by this age, you can't change. No, you can. You just have to want to. That's the only difference. You just have to want to. The limiting beliefs, they act as self-fulfilling prophecies. They hold us back from taking necessary actions to achieve our health and business goals. And if we don't recognize and challenge them, we cannot break free and progress towards our desires. I want you guys to think about all this, okay? I'd love to hear from you. I want you to comment and share a limiting belief that you've struggled with in the comments. Let's support each other on this journey. I have a community. Please join my community. It's a safe space. Post in the discussion board. I want to come in and support you. That is where I dwell. So please go there. You can post on Facebook, but I'm not going to be on Facebook all the time. If you post on YouTube, I might see it. Please come into the community because that's where I can support you. And that's where we can all come together and support each other as well. Right? Because chances are, if you're struggling with something, somebody else is too. Okay. And that's what I'm learning too. The things that I struggle with, usually somebody out there can relate to. So if you want to dive deeper and connect with others on this path, please join the Step Into Your Greatness community on Convene Communities. You can just go to my link tree. It's a linktree/Jody Watkins, and it is the first link there. So just simply click it, join the free platform, and just become a part of it. You can navigate, have videos in there, and it shows you how to do everything. We can break free from these limiting beliefs and step into our greatness. We can. So I want you to stop telling yourself you can't. You absolutely can. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, go over to my YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and share this video with anybody who needs encouragement today. And I will see you again soon. Have a blessed day.